Hey guys, once again, so today's video I'm gonna explain about the plot for the chapter 3. So starting from the chapter 2, as you see for number 1 next to the train, it's called the game station already. It's where we start harder from completing all the games. And then number 2, the train indoor is where we need to go inside in the train and complete all the code by buzzing in it. And from the number 3, it says train clouds. That means this is where we might start to crash from the chapter 2 gameplay. For the chapter 3, starting point for its first gameplay. So when it crashes the train, it will, for the gameplay for the chapter 2, it will look like this. This is how it looks like in gameplay for the chapter 2. So I have another video that I have something to do with the train station, and then like the weird video with weird another toy name that says Snow White Daisy, yeah, flower. So I think we might see her in chapter 3. So we will see what will happen when it comes. So it doesn't and so anything about Daisy in chapter 2 gameplay except one area in the rejected room that has a note about Daisy. And also it has a trophy about Daisy. And she has her own cardboard cutout in rejected room. That is only we saw Daisy in a gameplay on chapter 2, but not only that, even in a poster. So we will go to the video and see what will happen, so I can explain everything while there's anything related to chapter 3 is brought.
For several train stations, for several fields covered with snow white daisies, there is a magical place called Playcare. In this place you can find a lot of entertainment and recreation. You can find friends just like you. And also, to find a real home and devoted parents who can hold your hand when there's a monster in your closet. But what is unusual about this place? Only here miracles happen. Tell me, are you happy?
Okay, so we were gonna explain what it tells us if anything is related to chapter 3 is that we heard that starting from the train station, like I said before, that is where we might start from the chapter 2 and then it crash, and then we might play the game for chapter 3. This is where we might end up. And when it says the Snow White Daisy flower, that means that because there's only we saw the poster statues and the cardboard cutout for Daisy in reflected room only, because it doesn't show anything about it in chapter 2 except that area. So also it tells that for the chapter 3 he brought that I river is about explaining that that when it says the breaker is an massacre place, because in my past video that I said about Poppy, she's an orphan that he said playing with toys is so massacre. So that means that the breaker is it is something to do with an toys that comes to life in massacre, just like my birth movie, the one I post on Twitter, the Barney the dinosaur, because it is related to it, and but it's also similar because it has different toys can come to life, but I don't think it works like that, because how it works, it's just like the new video from Mob Entertainment video. The is about Braun in video that so any person's name Thomas Clark, that he was an Braun, so we don't know how he was, because so we don't know what happened to him and stuff like that, because it says like that in a video. And so what I was trying to say is the chapter 3, his broad explanation is the what they said is something to do with some entertainment um and recreation and some stuff like that. I think there's something there's is anything related to for all orphans, because of the chapter 2 mini games that has something to do with it, because that means that the developer of this kind of game, he might take something from the chapter 2, who's one of the part in a game still in the hallway, like slide, swings, stuff like that. And even for the breaker entrance. And so, like I said, I don't know if this kind of entrance will be in a breaker. So so we can wait to see what it's going to be looks like in the gameplay once it comes. So now I have something also else. So for the chapter 2 and chapter 3. So there is no anything that it has anything it says about where does the orphan were experimented on because there's no lab in chapter 1 and in chapter 2, but in chapter 2 it has only one area for the lab, and I don't know if it's something to do with chapter 3 gameplay, but it's not. It is something to do with chapter 3's conclusion, because I solved and I realized that I'm making my new video about the scientist explanation with Eddie Lideman note that has anything to do with a lab, that to see if something to do if something to do with the gameplay. But now it says that chapter 3's conclusion is that the first part of the breaker will be the place holder, and also it says DBA means to be announced, so it was already announced, so it will be a placeholder. So all I know is like I said the last time that about the note, it's like that Eddie Redmayne, he wants to see that lab is completed in 12 months time. So I don't know what time it is done. So the 12 months is December, but we don't know what time. So that means because that there is no any lab that has anything related to all the orphan. They were her transformed into a toys. So here's what I just found over here. Okay, give me a sec, guys. I have to go back to the gallery. Sorry about this. Okay, so over here. So yeah, so as you see this lab called the Bistec, this is the one we saw in the chapter 2 right before her mommy long legs chasing part. Or as you see it says name here, Beach Tech. Like this only the lab it has because it has also grandma long legs. Like, that's weird. That means I think also we might see her in also in chapter 3 gameplay because the grandma Longlegs is she is a mother of Mummy Longlegs because Mummy Longlegs its subject name is Mary Payne, and so I think this is where does Mary Payne that she was experimented into on Mummy Longlegs. Like, so I think it has something to do with the lab with for the chapter 3 when it takes place for the lab that might make all the orphan into a toy. So this is why the I have a note under the pitch deck. It says this is Eddie Letterman. I mean, sorry guys. This is Eddie responding once again on behalf of the Playtime Co. Toy Factory. I mean, yes, it must be in completed secrecy. This project should only be known about by those with the authority at research at Warren Park and those with the authority here at Playtime has promised you will be competent, something like that. Very well for this secrecy upwards of 100,000 then dollar, keeping in mind that this is a ballpark figure. We're willing to provide the proper equipment needed for excavation. However, the more independently you are able to work, the more compensation I can offer. We'd still like to see the lab completed in 12 months' time, but what's most important is that is done right. Let me know if those terms work for you. I'm happy to negotiate until we find something that both parties can be happy with. So that means he says that ballpark figure, that means the ballpark it is related, has something to do with any kids that they were playing with the balls in the arcade. That's why it says the ballpark figure. And so when it says 12 months time, all I know is only December, but we don't know what time. It was done in the around December. We don't know when. So when it says about anything related about it has something to do with ballpark because it has something to do with some kids. So because that Mommy Longlegs, she was subject has many pain. That's why it shows Grandma Longlegs, so her mother in a mistake. Like if you see the video of horoscopes, if you go to his video and then you'll see Mommy Longlegs' mother. So that means I think that means that this is something to do with chapter three's conclusion, and chapter three's first lab was an um it was testing that to see if this is the one that we are talking about, if the orphan is transformed into a toy. So we don't know what kind of lab it is something to do with it. So there's no lab except this kind of lab of BizTech, because it says at Warren Park. So because I have another video that is hidden the chapter 3's con- connection, and for the both of log code for experiment 1006, known as the prototype, in chapter 1 and in chapter 2, because in chapter 2 there is an in chapter 2 gameplay and chapter 1 gameplay, it has scientist name um, that his name is Rich, that he was talking about an orphan in the chapter 1, and after in chapter 2 he was talking about his work, how it's important to him, because he doesn't care about himself, has cared about the orphans. So what I think, because when he cares about the orphan for the scientist, I think there is where we might see that this kind of lab, that we might see all the orphan were transformed into toys, or this kind of lab is where we might um see if the gas mask or the prototype were created. So who knows? So I hope because you like this kind of video. So before I end this kind of video, so I don't know, it will put this lab in the chapter 3 he can play. So I don't know, once it comes we will see, but there's something new I might see about the chapter 3 and more each chapter in future for them chapter 4 and 5. So I have to see, because I'm using um the gameplay video from the Baki Hagi, so I can see every gameplay from his video for all organization order, so I can see every so I can see every gameplay from him. Just that it says anything about more chapters, so I can let you guys know on the Twitter and on the YouTube, so I can make that kind of video. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below, or that you want more this content video. And do you think that this is rap, the one I told you just now, for the chapter 3 and more? So so subscribe, like video, comment that I'm gonna make this kind of more content video, and I'll see you guys on another video.